Meanwhile, power distribution companies have begun load recovery after the collapse of the grid. Now, President Bola Tinubu has congratulated one of the longest-serving Nigerian leaders and former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, as he clocks 90 years. President Tinubu says, as a brilliant officer trained at Sandhurst and reluctantly became Nigeria's leader at 32, his life story has inspired many Nigerians. As the nation's head of state, he significantly contributed to nation building and development and can be rightly called the father of national infrastructure. He says his most incredible legacy was the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, which was founded in 1975. In a statement from the Office of the Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Ononuga, President Tinubu noted that after the stewardship of the country, General Yakubu Gowon acquired more knowledge, demonstrating that age and status are never barriers to seeking to be the best. He says his sterling example remains a beacon of hope and inspiration for people in government, encouraging them to do more for Nigeria. Now, the Lagos State government has called on residents, communities, and organizations to engage proactively in awareness campaigns and advocacy, focusing on greening Lagos and achieving ecological balance. Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, made the call at the year 2024 Walk for Nature. Our correspondent, Bukola Tiloko, reports.
The 3-kilometer Walk for Nature started from Oniko to Freedom Park, Campus Square, down to Igboshiri and back to Oniko. These Lagos State government officials, members of the Nigerian Conservation Foundation, students and lovers of the environment are creating awareness and awakening the consciousness of residents on the need to protect and preserve the environment.
Human activities, quest for development, deforestation, all of this has led to a lot of impact, negative impact on the nature. And the result of that is prolonged weather condition. You have long heat period, in some places you have long wet period, and you have floodings, you have droughts. Humanity and nature coexist. There's no way the humanity will survive without nature, and when you act negatively towards nature, nature will fight back.
They say Lagos must not only adopt mitigative measures, but also adaptation strategies to strengthen the resilience of the state's ecosystem.
Advocacy is one of the key aspects of conservation, because people need to know what is wrong, why it is wrong, and how they can correct it. Land restoration, desertification. So we choose our theme and we advocate to ensure that people know what they can do to help to make sure that we are saving the planet, and by so doing, saving ourselves.
Awareness on our planet. We are killing the planet by doing all sorts. We've enumerated all devices, particularly why I am interested, because I head the Office of Drainage Services, why I am interested more. What I am interested more in is the wetland encroachment, as well as the desertification. We must protect the environment.
Connect and to see the reason for the need to create more awareness, about preserving, rich biodiversity, as well as, the wildlife that is so endangered today, which is crucial for the future generation.
Trees were planted to commemorate the 18th edition of the Walk for Nature with the theme Land Restoration, Desertification, and Drought Resilience. #Generation Restoration. Bukola Tiloko, LTV News.
The Lagos State government has commenced infrastructure renewal of primary health centers across the state. Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, disclosed this at the opening ceremony of a 3-day retreat for medical officers of health. Health correspondent Aminat Elegushi has more.
These are medical officers of health in Lagos State. They are the ones responsible for managing and coordinating medical activities in primary healthcare facilities across the state. This gathering is an annual retreat where the health officers appraise progress, develop strategies for new concepts, and also interact with development partners and relevant stakeholders.
By building the capacity of medical officers and guards, we'll be able to end up translating that into improved health outcomes for people. So basically what we are planning to do here is, we've called in, keynote speakers, that will come and at the end of the day, be able to improve our capacity in terms of healthcare delivery. We are talking about things like improving the uptake of health insurance among the people, which should translate into reduced healthcare costs, which should also make them to even come to the primary healthcare centers and more. We are talking about things around behavioral change that would increase demand generation for healthcare services.
We have a shortage of medical professionals.
Commissioner for Health, Professor Akin Abayomi, assured the health officers of Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's commitment to prioritizing their welfare.
We are also looking at improving the environment in which our doctors are working to retard brain drain and accelerate brain gain into the country. And I think we're succeeding. We're beginning to see a large number of doctors coming back, healthcare professionals coming back to Nigeria. That desire to leave Nigeria is diminishing. More people are beginning to think of staying back home.
For the medical officers of health, their capacities are being increased. People are going for residency trainings. People are going for trainings in other fields, and so we expect them to actually perform better.
These PHC level leaders are committed to Lagosians that come rain, come shine. Whatever the situation, they are available. They are driving the PHC to provide good quality, accessible and affordable services for the citizens of Lagos State.
After the 3 days retreat, it is hoped that the medical officers of health will come up with strategies that will help in providing quality health services to Lagos residents. Aminat Elegushi, LTV News.
Giving back to the community is not just an act of generosity, but a vital tool for improving lives, fostering growth, and strengthening relationships. This was the consensus during the donation of a block of 6 toilets and borehole to Onoyade Community Primary School to commemorate the 11th coronation anniversary of the Onishabe of Igbo-Bishabe land, Oba Owolabi Adeniyi. The royal families say providing the essential amenities for the students and staff at Onoyade Community Primary School will aid better learning environments.
We don't have Ashwebi people where in Ashwebi because we don't have the need for it. We will spend another millions in doing that. So the best way is to do it. I am not that cosmetics. I want something functional, and that is what we have done. This is a small token. We will continue to do our very best in giving back to our communities. It is very, very important. I have cultivated that habit while I was in the US. We know how to give back to our community.
It's been a pet project, something very, very dear to me, especially where my children are concerned. It saddens our hearts to find out that there's no bathroom in these 3 schools.
Some residents and school officials commend the monarch's efforts, noting that the gesture will go a long way in uplifting the lives of the children and reinforce the spirit of unity and progress in Igbo-Bishabe.
Onisabe of Igbo-Bishabe for the great job that they have done for us in this community. Because before, these children they didn't have the toilet and using in these schools. But it's a great job for even that God giving the wisdom that he should try as much as possible to.
As the community celebrates the monarch's
toilet for them.
It is very, very important, and it goes a long way in the hygiene of the children of the school. If we have something like this for all in our schools, at least we are going to reduce the health challenges of the children, even and the teachers. We are going to reduce it to minimal level.
My mother has done wonderfully well. She has shown that she's a mother that cares. that cares a lot about the earnings of our children. And she knows that these children are leaders of today, not even leaders of tomorrow. They say education is a better guide for liberty rather than a standby army. What she has done today shall make a very good impression.
As the community celebrates the monarch's 11th year on the throne, this initiative serves as a reminder that giving back is a key part of leadership and growth. Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Buba Marwa, says the donation of a facility built by the British government for the fight against illicit drugs will help improve its surveillance on water transportation. Marwa, the unveiling of the facility, assured of more synergy between Nigeria and international organizations to checkmate the movement of illicit drugs in and on the waterways.
We've seen an increase in drug detections, both in Nigeria and in the UK. And so that shows us two things. Firstly, that there is a clear need for us to work together, to work collaboratively to tackle drug trafficking. But it also shows that our efforts are paying dividends. We are jointly preventing more and more drugs crossing borders, and we are disrupting more and more gangs.
We have had at least 4 trafficking cases in the last 2 years involving merchant ships, aside from cases of drugs concealed in cargo containers from South America to Nigeria. The cases are evidence that the maritime corridor provides mobility for illicit trafficking activity.
Today, Sanwo-Olu, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Abimbola Saludeyin, commends the agency for fighting to achieve a drug-free Lagos.
This recognition reflects the shared commitment of Lagos State and the NDLEA to eradicate the scourge of drug abuse and trafficking, which threatens the very fabric of our communities. Today's commissioning of the NDLEA Marine Command Headquarters, generously donated by the British government, marks a significant milestone in our collective fight against drug-related crimes.
Collaboration of the agency's Marine Command with other maritime law enforcement agencies has resulted in the interception of approximately 62,000 kilograms of varying illicit drugs and the arrests of 41 suspects, 15 of whom are already prosecuted and jailed.
While calling for continuous collaboration among various security agencies operating within the maritime space, the NDLEA boss says the agency's Special Marine Squad operations on the waterways of Lagos has shown the increasing complexity of maritime drug trafficking. In sports, coaches have commended the Lagos State Football Association under the leadership of Gafar Ali Ahmed following the certification by the National Institute for Sport. The LSFA had launched special training course in partnership with NIS in a bid to license the coaches to operate in Lagos, and the initiative has produced the first batch of graduates. We have more in this report.
Football history was made in Lagos as the first batch of 100 grassroots football coaches graduated as certified coaches from the National Institute for Sports in a specialized training course facilitated by Lagos State Football Association in conjunction with Africa's leading sports training center, the NIS. Speaking during the epochal event, Director General of the NIS, Professor Olawale Moronkola, congratulated the coaches and noting that the event marks a significant milestone, not only for the NIS but also for the State Football Association of Nigeria. While assuring that the initiative will be extended to other state football associations, Professor Moronkola stated further that the collaboration, which was born out of the pressing need to address the challenge of unqualified coaches and the widespread presence of quackery in the football system, has come to stay.
We know that if we get the grassroots development right, then this can cascade into higher level, and we have a critical mass of footballers that we can have in country for future sporting engagements at national and international level.
Chairman Lagos State Football Association Gafar Liamid said the successful conclusion of the pilot batch of the training course is just the beginning of the process of ensuring proper development at the grassroots level. The LSFA boss revealed that the plan is to train and certify over 5,000 grassroots football coaches in 4 years, stating that the rippling effect would be of great benefit to Lagos State and Nigeria.
One of our slogans in Lagos State Football Association is for now to do football as normal, not as usual. So it's not only about passion, it's just about doing the right thing. So it's coming from my heart, it's coming from our heart to continue to do the right thing so that we can have coaches coaching our boys and girls properly and developing the way they ought to be developing.
The exercise held over the weekend at the NRS inside the National Stadium, Surulere, also marked the commencement of the special training course for the second batch of the course.
That's the news at 8, but for more news, connect with Lagos Television on their social media platforms. Please remember to call Lagos toll-free line 767 or 112 in case of emergencies. And that's the news at 8. I am Omomi. Okay, well, good evening.